Bonnie and Clyde. Janine, what do you got?
Well, you know, Geraldo, by now everyone's heard about the modern-day Bonnie and Clyde, Ed Anderton and Jocelyn Kirsch, a couple of Ivy Leaguers who were overprivileged, had everything going for them, and then decided that they would engage in a life of crime where they use the proceeds of a crime and the instrumentality of a crime to be involved in identity theft, forgery, you know, changing their own identities to be able to benefit from other people's identities. And when police went into their home or their apartment, they found many things that were evidence of the crime. But in addition to that, they found this little book in their apartment called The Art of Cheating, a nasty little book for tricky little schemers and their hapless victims. Well, we have with us tonight the author of that book, Jessica Dorfman Jones, who joins us to talk about this book on the art of cheating. Welcome, Jessica.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
All right. Did you ever think when you wrote this book that you would find modern-day Bonnie and Clyde using it as a blueprint for their own activities?
Absolutely not. It's a humor book. It's a stocking stuffer for Christmas. You know, we never thought when this book was published that it would be, swept up by the police out of a criminal's apartment.
Yeah, but the truth is, Jessica, I mean, that this really is a manual on how to rip people off. When I was a DA, we used to do identity theft, and that is the fastest growing crime in the world, not just in the country. And you basically, on page 21, talk about the ways to cheat people or companies out of their money. I mean, how could you not think that this wouldn't be used by someone who's not really balanced out there to cheat?
Because it's a humor book. Because, you know, you can look at one particular piece of the book and say, well, this is how you do it. But you've got to go to the paragraph right after that says, if you're not careful, you're going to wind up in prison. The whole book is very tongue-in-cheek. It's very edgy humor. It's a little dark, of course. It's a little sarcastic. But I think anyone who has, you know, a good brain in their heads can take a look at it and say, this is humor.
But then why not stick with the chapters that talk about faking orgasms or faking beauty or what are some of the other fakes?
A cheating death, cheating on a diet.
Right, that kind of stuff. So why add specific information on how to use lights and how to use computers to forge identities? Because, you know, 1 out of 700 computer or identity thieves are not caught. So they know this out there, and they said, gee, well, this is a recipe for me.
Well, you know, first off, this information is available every place. This isn't, you know, privileged information that I've cooked up. It isn't inside or anything. And when I was doing the book, you know, I started doing the research, and the book grew and grew, and I thought, what is cheating and what constitutes cheating? Okay. And there's a lot of interesting stuff in there.
It says on the back of your book that you have been known to fake injuries to get better service in restaurants, and you're no longer welcome in Las Vegas.
A joke.
How far have you pushed the envelope?
It's a joke. It's all a joke.
Never cheated?
No, I'm the worst card player who's ever lived.
Yeah, but you talk about the fact that everyone really is a cheater. I mean, I've read some of this book. It's a great book.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you yourself, I mean.
Sure, and I've been very open about it. The one cheat that I drew from my own life was that when I was working for about 90 seconds as a lawyer, I wanted to leave and I wanted to get a different job. And I worked on getting a new job and setting up a company while I was working as a lawyer. So it was, you know, stealing a little corporate time, and yeah, it's one of the minor cheats, but it's in there. Absolutely. Yeah, everyone's a little off-center at some point in their life, and you've got to laugh about it.
Well, certainly you do, but let's move it over a little bit, and I think that there is a lot of humor in the book, but when you talk about hapless victims, you've got to know that there are people who lose their life savings as a result of people using this book as a blueprint.
Sure, and you know what? Keeping an even-handed approach to all of these issues is a big part of writing the book. And at the end of every section, there is a paragraph or a page on how to protect yourself.
Well, let's hope
from a lot of this stuff.
Let's hope that if people do buy this book, that they do it in a way where they do end up protecting themselves and taking care of themselves. Thanks so much for being with us, Jessica.
Absolutely.
All right, Geraldo, well, there you have it. And we're looking for that snowball fight. Where is it?